Well, get ready for a cold and wet Thanksgiving this year. I'm Jordan Evans here in the Cronkite News Weather Center, and we have several storm systems to track for you this week of Thanksgiving. And that first one here, it came through yesterday. That cold front, we definitely felt it this morning, and highs today will top out about 10 degrees below than what we saw yesterday. By the time we get into Wednesday, we're going to get a similar situation of what we saw last week, where two storm systems will come in back to back. That first one coming up from the southwest, and we'll see those rain showers fill in for mainly southeastern portions of the state, because it's going to be a little bit further to the east than what we saw last week. By the time we get to Thursday itself, that second one coming in from the northwest, bringing in some much colder air with it too. So by the time we get into Friday, that second cold front comes through, and we'll see rain change to snow for a lot of those elevations across the high country. In fact, the snow level dropping much further than what we saw last week, and several inches to, if not feet, of snow can be expected for places like Flagstaff and down along the rim. We don't begin to dry things out until we get into the weekend. So we are definitely expecting some travel headaches for you across the state and really the entire country too. We'll break you down the nationwide forecast here in just a minute. But in terms of rain amounts, here in the valley, I'm expecting about 1 to 2 inches, a little bit less than what we may have saw last week, with higher amounts up to the north, of course, along the higher terrain, and to the southeast too, because of that first storm system coming in. So Tucson could actually pick up anywhere from 2 to, if not 3 inches possible. Here's a little bit better breakdown of those details for here in the valley. Our best window for rain will be Wednesday night all the way into Friday evening, off and on at times, but it's not going to be as heavy too, but we could see a little bit of some minor street flooding. Flash flood watch is not issued just yet, but that is something that could happen later this afternoon. Again, amounts totaling about 1 to 2 inches valley-wide, with a few higher amounts along the foothills. Up in the high country, expect those snow showers to begin to change over by the time we get to Thursday night, when that cold front comes through, for mainly elevations above 5,500 feet. That's where the best and highest accumulating snow amounts will be, with those amounts totaling anywhere from 1 to 2 feet possible for places like Flagstaff, and even down in Sedona. That snow level is going to drop actually all the way to about 4,000, if not 3,500 feet. So we could actually wake up Friday to Saturday morning with a couple of inches on the ground there in Sedona, and Payson of Prescott too, also picking up on some of those snow amounts. So here's a better look at that. Again, these purple and pink shadings down along the rim where the highest terrain is where we are talking about feet of snow, with places like Winslow and Holbrook picking up a couple of inches there, and Prescott 4 to 8 inches, and Kingman a couple of inches too. So that storm system clearing out here on Saturday. Remember, by the time we get into Friday, you want to make sure you're doing your traveling across northern Arizona, mainly as we get into Wednesday, because by the time Thursday rolls in, things are going to get messy across the high country, and we would prefer all of you guys to stay off the roads too. Let the Department of Transportation work their magic, because it is definitely going to be a winter mess across the high country. Now, if you have plans across the rest of the country, we're not the only ones going to be affected by a storm system. In fact, that one that came through last night is going to be intensifying by the time we get into later this afternoon. So notice by tonight, snow showers, in fact, blizzard-like conditions possible there for places like Minneapolis, up through Omaha, and rain showers again all the way down through the Mississippi Valley into Chicago too. That storm system heading on out here as we get into Wednesday, but still impacting places like Detroit and eventually into New England for Wednesday afternoon. So the busiest travel day of the year could cause some problems out there across New England. And then by the time we get to Thursday itself, Thanksgiving Day, that second storm system coming up from the southwest that will touch southeastern Arizona, intensifying once again. So rain and snow filling in for much of the Midwest, and that will linger into the rest of the upper Midwest too throughout the evening. And by the time we get to the later part of the week, that second storm system beginning to impact us is going to be taking shape and affecting much of the West Coast too. So not a great week for Thanksgiving here across the country. Expected weather delays, again, a lot of these could change over the next couple of days, but really the entire West. This is for Wednesday, again, the busiest travel day of the year, and we could see delays weather-related anywhere from an hour plus for places like San Francisco, Albuquerque, and Las Vegas, as well as for parts of New England, because that second storm system will making its way up there. Really your best bet to avoid a lot of this nasty weather is going to be across the southeast, with minor delays expected there for places like Florida, down through Georgia and Tennessee too. So Thanksgiving's not going to look good, but by the time we get into the weekend, we're drying things out, but we're going to stay chilly too. So notice temperatures back down to the single digits for lows in Flagstaff, and we'll stay below the normal too all the way through Sunday. It's not until we get into the middle part or beginning part of next week where we finally get to warm things up back up just a little bit. And then down in Tucson here, we can see those rain showers beginning Wednesday, sticking all the way through Friday, and temperatures a little bit on the warm side too, in the 60s. By that time that second cold front comes through, we're back down to the 50s. In fact, some places there in Tucson likely getting down into the 30s, and we're going to see that here in the Valley of the Sun too. Notice by by Friday morning, we're back down to 39 here. In fact, some of our outlying spots in the valley could be down into the mid-30s. Rain chances here in the valley again. Best day for Thursday, tapering off Friday evening. Sun Devils back in action as they take on the Wildcats here at Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe. So a pretty chilly game. Remember, that game is going to be at 8 o'clock at night. So if you're planning to head out to that game after the sun goes down, temperatures may actually fall into the 40s by the time we get kickoff temperature there. So that's something to keep in mind. Warming things up by the time we get into the beginning part of next week. But again, big travel headaches across the state and the rest of the country for Thanksgiving.